Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Team Fortress TV. You're watching what could be the preview of our grand final this season. We've got the two top teams of the tables fighting it out, Ascent and SVIFT. My name is Bum. I've got ArchRhythm behind the camera and Lucky on the mic. How are you doing, Lucky?
I'm doing pretty well today, sir. I've been looking forward to this all day. Sat at work, twiddling my thumbs, waiting to get home so I could cast and watch this game. I'm super excited. How are you feeling about this game?
It's going to be a good one for sure. I mean, we have SVIFT, basically half the roster of Nerd Rage winning last season, and then we've got Ascent, obviously. Pretty much the favourites of the season, returning after their one-season hiatus to come and prove that they're still the best in the scene. They've got a few change-ups in their roster, but definitely on paper still as strong as they ever were.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Ascent is looking so solid as well. Like SVIFT, just the two rosters. I've got to point out that they are just star-studded talent from the EU scene. Europe's finest currently, I'd say. You got some like mega talent from back in the day as well. I mean, we've got Tiger and Captain, two old names. I just run down the Ascent roster for you, which is Tiger, Thomas, Pappy, Captain, Lucas Stank, and Classy. So a bunch of players there, which are all mega insane. We've got a heavy fist fight on the first mid bum.
Yeah, both teams want blue team, presumably for this funny lamp that you can use to hide on the red side. A slight advantage for one of the teams on this map, which thankfully, due to some lovely community members, will be got rid of shortly. The old Refresh project trying to, make some maps a bit more fair, bit less annoying, as the developers of them have kind of retired from the scene.
Well, never mind, we don't have a heavy fist fight. Seeds has decided he's just going to rev up and start mowing people down. Speaking of which, on the other side, we have Gazi, the Pyro God himself, Kunu, Adiski, Everex, Nasboy, and Seeds. Also an insane roster. Everex coming out of his fat W from last season. Gazi, Pyro God, we know. We'll probably see some of that because we've got two maps in this series, which is going to be some Gully Wash for our game number 1 and Sunshine as our game number 2. Gully Wash, obviously that choke pointy map that we know and love. Pyroclast extremely potent on the last point, so I'm feeling like we're going to see some pyro action eventually, especially in water. Even good at pushing on Gully Wash last if you do some pocket strategies. But we are going to be watching a Demo Man matchup, I believe, this game, Bum, and Lucas Stank is one to fear if you're a nice boy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both of these demos are completely, insane and carries for their team. But, I mean, I've got to give it to Lucas. He's got 2 Player of the Season awards to his name. He has been a force to be reckoned with on Demo Man for God knows how long now. And yeah, on Gully Wash, definitely one of the stronger middles and maps in general for Demo Man, so will be an important matchup to have a look at. We've got the stats for you on the screen right now. Anything sticking out to you, Lucky?
He's the number 1 in kills, just immediately. You're looking at it and you see kills. 20 kills on average per map. That is a lot of kills to be getting on the Demo Man class, especially since they've been playing slow control games. But I guess the one little blip in the radar is going to be, that they play Product Week, and Demo Man sometimes can pop off quite a lot that we did see. Ascent did win their game 3-1, I believe, against the Bus Crew, but it was a pretty good game overall. I'd say that Bus Crew put up a good fight, but they're nothing in comparison to Ascent at this point in time. With a bit more practice, maybe the Bus Crew can make it that way. The other thing that spots out to me is, of course, air shots. We all love an air shot, and Lucas Tank averages 3 a map, which is quite a few for the Demo Man class. It's more than you'd usually see in an average game.
Yeah, absolutely. And another stats not to be shied from is deaths. I mean, your Demo Man is up there with the most important classes to have not dying when, obviously... Oh, wait, we do have the heavy fist fight finally coming out, and that's going to be Seeds losing that one to XXX Putus Lover 69.
He wins it out. He puts "Let's go" in the chat, so they get to claim the blue team. For those of you who don't understand the Lucas fist fight, they do a heavy fist fight. A heavy that dies loses, and they have to go on red team because red team poo poo. Like Bumfries mentioned earlier, you get that fancy lamp that you can stand on in the midpoint, which will be taken away probably after this season and hotfixed, like most of Process was over the time. Any predictions before we get this game underway? Because we haven't got all 12 in the server.
Oh, this is a tricky prediction. These two are so close, but I have to give the edge to Ascent. I think they've just been around for longer, been together for longer, and yeah, they just have been so dominant in these seasons that they've been winning so far in Europe, so I'm gonna give it to them for sure.
Okay, I'm going to go against you. I'm going to say that SVIFT are going to win this map. I feel like we're going to see a lot of team play coming out the flank on the side of SVIFT, and they're going to open up some opportunities for their team, I think. They're going to catch Classy a lot, and that's what I think is going to happen in this game. Also, Gazi Pyro. I can't go against the boy. He's too strong. Put him on Pyroclast. He's unstoppable, all right? He just gets frags. That's all that happens. But in terms of scoreline, I'm not sure if we're going to see slow and control or we're going to see balls to the walls action, you know? It could be either way with these teams. They're definitely known... Like, I know Tiger especially is a very aggressive player. He likes to just get in there and get fights started. And Adiski is the same, and Gazi is kind of the same as well. So we might see some scrappy fights here and there, but I don't think either team really wants to give an inch. They don't want to drop points because both these teams currently are perfect on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I think all of these players definitely favour action to the slow and steady play style. We may see the game slow down a bit if SVIFT get in control of it. They might be a bit, worried to take those risks as the slight underdog team. They might want to just try and maintain that lead, slow the game down if they do end up ahead. But I think there is it's quite likely that it will just be straight up action the whole way here. Both these teams very, very dominant in terms of the scene in general, and as you say, they're not going to want to show up at all tonight. They're going to be just fighting for every inch, as you say.
Yeah, what do you think about Classy as the medic pick here as well? They didn't actually... they got Seeds on for trial. Seeds was very keen to get on the roster for Ascent, and in the end didn't end up joining the roster. They got Classy instead. How do you feel like Classy's performed overall?
I think Classy has been absolutely fine. I mean, usually when you see someone who's not used to medic switch onto the medic, they have, a couple of blunders every now and again, but Classy has just been playing absolutely perfectly, not letting up. You wouldn't know if you weren't told that he wasn't originally a medic player, so I think it's an absolutely fine pickup. Obviously a bit of beef between the teams, maybe in that Seed's getting cut to end up on SVIFT on the other side of this server, so who knows if that'll factor into anything as we do actually go live into the first map, Gully Wash, SVIFT versus Ascent.
Welcome everyone to our Season 37 Week 4 game between Ascent and SVIFT. Starting off real quick here, Captain's going to be jumping on to the top of the point there, and Luke's going to be dropping down just so he can get in front of Adiski and stop him from getting on top of Classy, but Everex there with the bomb does find 3 players basically in that elbow area, tons of damage down. Seed survives this, does manage to get out with Nasboy and Gazi, and that mid-fight took no time at all with that Everex bomb.
Yeah, and Pappy bombed straight into SVIFT's big door as well, trying to get on Seeds, but Seeds just put the moves on him, dodged all of his rockets, went down very low in the meantime, so he had to get back and regroup. Looked like he was trying to retake mid with his players just then, but all of Ascent get their respawns. They'll have to use this advantage of Uber instead. Tomas just going to be building back by his own choke as SVIFT get ready to bust through theirs here.
It looks like, yeah, they are just beaming up their soldier, getting him in nice and deep early on, but they've got 2 soldiers standing close to get loads of damage down. Looking like they're pressuring super hard for the supercharge to come out, but finally Seeds walks in, and it does look like they're going to be able to get this point down in their favour now. They are getting some caps on Classy, already up to 90% Uber charge, so they are going to be able to hold on to second here, most likely. But we're going to see what SVIFT want to do with the space that they've created.
Yeah, so SVIFT are the eventual winners of the mid-fight, I suppose, getting Seeds out alive with that advantage, and then retaking the point for free, not having to pop. We've got our first even Uber situation here on mid.
To be expected, these two teams aren't going to give each other an inch. I mean, Nasboy now moving towards Big Door is going to try and create some space here at Choke, maybe, for a soldier to try and get a sack attempt in. But we have got Lucas Stank actually sticking off this area, making it impossible for them to get in through lower, so they're going to have to open up something towards Choke. Adiski now jumping into Big Door, looking like he wants to get in that lower door. No one's actually there to stop him if he goes. But we have now got it. There you go. Tiger is actually going to take the 1v1 as well.
Yes, they've got Ghazi behind all the way on last right now, but that's about it. 2 players are there looking for him. They've got Captain watching out on River, and of course Tiger still walking around in lobby area.
Yeah, what this has done now is it's opened up some space at Choke for them, so they're going to be able to make a move here, since they've got these 2 players postured super far back and it's creating openings. It's just up to SVIFT to try and find which opening it is.
Yeah, SVIFT just pretty much fully backing out at this point. Ghazi is not doing anything on last at all. He's just taunting in a corner there, trying to get into that third-person view to see around the corner. Everex starting to walk in towards Choke. He just spots out Pappy. They spam a rocket at each other. Neither one wants to go in, and now the pressure is back on. Adiski's managed to clear the stickies in lower lobby, but he doesn't opt to try and go behind as well to meet up with Ghazi.
This Tomas positioning is absolutely excellent. It means that they're not going to be able to get a soldier through whatsoever. He's just sitting on top of that rock. He isn't going to catch any spam. He's just getting buffed by Classy every 3 seconds to stay at 185. So if a soldier does try and jump through, Tomas is going to put his face in front of the president, and then there'll be nothing that soldier can do. So Tomas there holding off that choke. It's going to rotate now that Tiger gets cleaned up there. From the stickies of Nasboy just put on the shadow. We have got a soldier actually bombing in. He's going to be behind the point now, and all the blue players moving back. In fact, Lucas Sang goes down. Adiski dies, but that's fine. Is now Captain on top of the point here. Takes a ton of damage. We do get the force from Choke as Everex goes in. Forces off Classy. Seed's moving back. Doesn't have to use. Classy's going to get caught here out in a second. Tomas does manage to sneak his way in behind towards Choke. And we could see a pincer maneuver here coming out from Captain and Tomas. But they do manage to get second down as Tomas retreats.
I think Toe might just opt for a spawn kill here. He's trying to take this fight versus Adiski on midpoint. But Adiski's got Everex on the respawn, and he's called Ghazi back to help him out, so Toe's going to go down there. That was so neatly played from SVIFT. They bombed Adiski behind. They pretty much knew that they were giving him up, but the 3 players that turn around that just let up on all of the space from Big Door meant that it was a really easy fight for SVIFT to take, as they now have the full Uber advantage. They're using him through River. Both scouts immediately under the point. They're onto Lucas. He goes down now. The Pyro is denying Nasboy from moving any closer forward, but they don't need him. Everex on the point does eventually get taken down. We're in a 3v2. It's just Classy and Tiger versus the world, and now they are going to fall as SVIFT take the first round.
Beautifully played there from SVIFT. I mean, Seed's had an amazing Uber. He flashed Kunu for just enough time to get him over the stick. He's got him behind the point on top of Lucas Tank, and that was Lucas Tank gone lights out for him then. And Nasboy getting pushed back by the Pyro, but the Pyro didn't manage to push these scouts back. So the space that was created by the scouts there really just destroyed any momentum Ascent needed on that last. Captain getting a nice notice in this next mid fight, however. Lucas Tank here going to be landing some nice stickies onto these scouts as well. So no buffs for these scouts. And they are slightly damaged, so 1 rocket range for both of them at this point in time. We are seeing a lot of aggression here onto Everex, who does go down with Pappy. So 1 soldier down on each side, but looks like blue team getting stuffed in towards their choke here. Nasboy manages to walk up through elbow, but it's a very precarious position. Tomas has the high ground. Looks like the blue team eventually getting out onto this mid. And Adiski is going to be trying to bomb on top of Classy. Is going to land 1 rocket, but can't find anything else. That's going to be a Ascent mid win.
Yeah, SVIFT never really found the ground there on that mid. I mean, Everex bombed immediately into Ascent scouts. He just got shredded, and the rest of the players were just on the floor for the entire mid, unable to find their way up through that mini elbow. They really didn't get the ground that they wanted, so Ascent are going to take that mid fight and second as well off the back of some extra kills. But now we're even Ubers on last. We'll see if we get a sentry up. Ghazi's already on his favourite class, the Pyro. But looks like they're opting to keep Kunu on scout for now rather than build up that level 3, which you usually see in this situation.
Ascent do not take this last point. Ghazi is on Pyro. It's been decided already. The fates were sealed, bum. The fates were sealed. They can't do anything anymore. That's it. It's over. But no sentry gun, like you mentioned, is a very interesting choice. I just assume that they're not opting for the sentry gun because it'll get taken down very easily as Ascent are in position to maybe spam it out. Tiger actually going down there. Sticky's in main from Nas. Very good heads-up play from him. And it looks like with this 1 pick, they are going to be starting to move players up through River. They have actually got a sniper now. Kunu, known for his god sniper plays, is just going to be peeking up on River trying to find a pick.
Yeah, he's inching ever closer towards second. Lucas actually still in lobby. It means that they want to back out now. Captains are walked all the way through lower main, actually. Bombs in, but gets immediately taken down.
Don't know if you saw that janky reflect. He managed to reflect the rocket from behind him.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was just me or the STV or what was going on there, but yeah, I guess that's still how TF2 works. Interesting.
Funny class. Anyway, they are moving up into river right now. We have got Pappy standing in the god spot here, so it's going to be very hard for them to get anything done here. But Gazzy just reflecting all of those rockets away from his sniper, doing a great job there. But the respawners all come in for both sides. So it's going to be very wisely here from SVIFT to move back all the way to their last. Tiger's going to be retaking that river area for his team. Luke is going to be sticking off that lobby area, just securing the zone. Gazzy is finally swapped off and has decided he's going to opt for the engineer class now. So, like I mentioned before, that gun easily going to get spammed now since they are in position. But Kunu up on the pyro instead of Gazzy is going to be trying to defend that sentry gun versus the spam that's coming his way.
Yeah, the sentry's going very low and it does actually get taken down. I think if they were going to put a sentry gun up, they probably should have done it while Ascent was down a player, but they are now getting spammed out super hard. It's going to be difficult to get this sentry gun up. Everex is going incredibly low. He's getting shot from both scouts, one from main and one from river. He gets a bow to save his life and then manages to jump out, but in the meantime, Tiger has got into lower here, see if he can make a point play. The sentry's been moved up, but it's only level 2 and it's still getting spammed quite a lot in this position here. Captain spamming it down from river. It will go down once again.
That's so depressing if you're Gazzy trying to put up the sentry gun, just getting spammed by Captain every 3 seconds, because it's... When they get in this position where they've got lobby available to them and they've managed to push up in river and there's no extra defense, Tiger actually running on top of the point. Adiski knows he's going to drop down in front of his face and stop that capture, but cap time down now. It looks like they are going to be able to open up for a play, but one down on Tiger is going to buy them some room here to build that sentry gun.
Yeah, so we should finally see a level 3 from Gaz now. And no one's actually going to be peeking out of last of the side of SVIFT now, sorry. They'll just be staying on last, trying to keep this gun up, get it up to level 3 for once, and keep everything safe.
Keep everything nice and locked up. We're not seeing any off classes on the side of Ascent. I would have expected a spy or a sniper, some kind of monkey class to open up some space for them, but not really seeing too much here. Tiger, once again, just going to be heading down into water. I think this is a pretty good move, because it means that they're at least moving one player. Disky has to move up to the rim again, making it super easy for him to get shot at from balcony, but not taking advantage of that. I feel like if Lucas was to spam a Disky off the rim, and then they played the point with Ty, that they wouldn't be able to rotate the rest of the team in time to make anything happen.
Yeah, and that's pretty much all you need your scouting water for, is for that threat of something happening. I mean, you know he's not going to get up to much on his own, but he is basically a half of a very good play. You can put someone on the point and then do something else with the rest of your team with the aim to distract or back up the player that's capping on the point. And now they actually do switch out. Tiger runs out while Captain bombs in. So they've got a soldier in lower now. Lucas is sticking up the point, so they're going to expect some point play any second now. Kunu actually clearing the stickies. Captain playing the back of the point with the pain train. ×2 on the cap. He wins his fight with the Disky, but he gets bumped up a little too high and the sentry takes him out. And in fact, Classy has been forced in lobby in the meantime by Everex. So now it's actually full advantage for Seeds.
Tiger is being an absolute nuisance. He's just managed to stop any aggression maybe coming out from Seeds. He's just sitting behind that point in water, just annoying his players. But Gazzy's going in lower. He crits him down with the frontier justice. There is no salvation here. Tiger has been destroyed in water there, as we've got Seeds now moving forwards with his team. They haven't got any backcap pressure as Pappy gets caught in lower, but Everex does die to Captain. Captain still skirmishing in this lobby. Is going to find another. Finding Nasboy's pretty huge here. No demo man to sticky off that lobby area or lower, so Tiger could be open for a backcap right now if he sees it. Adiski going down now. Tiger is running in lower. He has been spotted by Gazzy. Looks like they're going to be maybe having a 1v1 in lobby, but the rest of his team comes in. Good little push there from Tiger just to move the rest of the side of SVIFT back in towards last.
Oh, Ascent are just finding all of the holes in SVIFT's play there and abusing them one by one, and that just forces them all the way back to last. What used to be a full advantage is now nothing at all. Tiger's under the point once again. He spots out a Disky and decides to get out of there. Yeah,
okay, this is... sorry, to cut you off there. Sorry, go on.
No, yeah, that was really good from Ascent. I mean, Adiski just tried to walk out on the low ground into second, and Tomas just dropped off and hunted him down. They were they thought they had cut Pappy off in lower lobby, but then he called for Captain to back him up, and all the trades actually went their way because they took so long to kill Pappy in lower lobby. Pappy has gone down again for the attacking side, but that's not enough for anyone to really do anything on Gully Wash last. Swift can't push out off of just one pick. They're going to need to find more. And now we have the Sentry and Pyro combo back up again, and Tomas on Sniper on second.
All right, 3 minutes. 3 minutes until round reset. Sorry, so they've got a bit of time before the round reset goes through. But I think there's time for creativity here. I mean, Tomas on the Sniper is a good start, but they could do the old Pyro strategy, send him in water and just air blast him off the point, get a bit of pressure that way, try and force out a couple Ubers. Opting for Tomas to go Sniper here, you've got to buy him some time. And is 3 minutes going to be enough time for Tomas to get a headshot, do you think, against this Iron Fortress hold that they've got going on? They haven't broken it so far. So, I mean, I don't know how they're going to be able to find the cracks here, but starting in River is a good opportunity here. He's going to peek wide, he's going to aim, but gets seen by these soldiers and spanned away.
Yeah, I don't think Sniper is that great on this map, especially with this setup. I mean, Seeds is so safe. He knows this angle like the back of his hand.
Point!
The Captain on the point!
He gets it! The pain-trained soldier coming out from Captain. On the nose gameplay, spots the holes in the fortress of SVIFT. Is going to claim that round there. One small slip-up cost them quite a lot here, and now the score is even coming into this next mid-bump.
Yeah, Toe wasn't looking for that kill after all. He was just a distraction, getting all of the combo of Swift into the exact same place and dragging them away from the point for Captain to do that. Now into the third mid, Everex immediately bombing into the enemy elbow, will get taken down. Adiski on the other side though will take Lucas, so it's a soldier for a demo trade right now, and there's a lot of cap time on the point for Swift, but the bombs are incredible. They destroy all three players on the point, they clean up Adiski, and now only Gaz is left alive. He's going to run back to last, maybe get a sentry gun built already. That's a very dominant mid for Ascent.
Very, very dominant indeed. I mean, Classy survived by the skin of his teeth. He got bombed by a Disky who came up through drop down, nearly managed to get the drop onto him there, and if he got that, it would have bought them a lot more room on the side of SVIFT here. So we're going to see what they want to do. Gazi, like you mentioned, up on that Engineer class, but they've got Kunu up on the Pyro. Not sure why it's not the other way around. Because Gazi would destroy them on the Pyro, so I'm going to say, but it looks like they are up to for a Shutter Uber. They do just run it in, they don't use straight away. They have now popped this Uber out, and they are going to get the Sentry Gun with it. Moving down towards the point now, Thomas is going to be running down in towards water, spots the Stickies on the point, just going to stand his ground, and he just gets the cap from out under them.
Yeah, they knew everything they needed to know, Ascent. They know that the Pyro isn't close because they saw that Sentry all the way back near the spawn door. They knew that the demo man was going to have stickies on the point, not on the shutter, so they get those extra 1 or 2 seconds of just walking through the shutter without having to use, and then Toe just clears the sticks off the point perfectly, and it's a very clean round for Ascent. Starting to get into the game here, 2-1.
Captain bombing up nice and early, getting some damage down on top of Nasboy. Disky going to be the first casualty of this mid-fight, however. Pappy getting caught out now as well, getting pinged around, but it's Kuna going down to a Sticky. Nasboy's getting pressured out of choke. Everex is trying to salvage this one. Going on top of Classy, just whiffs all of his rockets. Solemn Bower from Classy in disrespect. As they are going to be moving through in towards Big Door. Siege did survive that mid-fight, but actually dies to Tiger on last. Tiger making it happen. Oh, the direct from Captain. They're just pooing all over them, bum.
Tiger just hit absolutely everything there. Gazi maybe should have slowed down a bit. He maybe should have taken the bullets for Seeds. If he takes the damage instead, there's every chance that Seeds gets out there. But now it's just a spawn camp on last. Lucas sticky trapping both sides. Gaz trying to clear it with the air blast there. But there's already so much time on point. It's over. It's 3-1 for Ascent off the back of that dominant mid.
Whoa, Tiger being an absolute chad in towards last, picking up Seeds is everything they needed to get another round, and now the momentum is flowing for Ascent. They can feel it in their veins. SVIFT is going to be feeling a little bit sheepish after that one, maybe a tactical pause required after that one. But coming into our next mid, Lucas is going to be landing on a decent amount of HP, and so is Nas. Then no pressure this early from Captain this time around, but Tiger running up forces Nas onto the low ground. Lucas Tank doing the same thing home. Adiski lands one nice rocket into him. Eric's on a nice bomb spot here. Gassy taking the 1v1. Pappy is going to lose out that one. Pappy doing a great job of just forcing them into a corner here. Seed still stuck in Big Door, unable to get his heals to the rest of his team. Both teams toing and throwing. Adiski in lower, looking for a bomb opportunity. Damage is called onto Lucas. Is now going to bomb up and just spam towards Big Door, and eventually SVIFT are going to take this mid.
Yeah, with no soldiers on the side of Ascent, they knew they would lose that battle of attrition eventually. And now they just want to leave one to cap and try and get in straight away. Swift already putting all the pressure in on second. And all of Ascent were just stood on that low ground in the shutter door. They could not contest it from that position. Captain now trying to rebomb, will find Everex for free there. Thomas in to take the trade. They use first, and Nasboy gets dropped from the Uber. Seeds still hasn't used. He's trying to milk the whole way. He does keep his 100%, but they don't get second because of it. They're going to have to repush this with their spawners, see if they can retake second with the full advantage now.
Yeah, they've got to try and retake without using that Uber charge. It's going to be a pretty rough scenario for them to be in. They are probably going to get forced off here by Pappy or Captain, and they'll be in this situation where they're stuck trying to push a last for several minutes. Only 12 minutes left on the clock, so halfway to go, but it could still happen here. We've got Pappy and Captain holding that choke really close here, and they are now just going to jump through. Everex taking that high ground really early on. Kunu now running in as well. NASA sticking the floor, so no bombs should come in. Seeds is already through. We've got Pappy just bombing back around to his team, and they are going to allow it to happen on this second point here. Good job there from Everex just to clear out all the spots that he needed to.
Yep, Ascent know they're not going to get away with anything. It's all been checked out. There's no reason to throw away someone's life trying to go for it. But it looks like they're using the Uber, and even though it's already become even, Classy has his Uber up. Kunu is playing the point, but the Uber is out from Classy now. Sentry gun is down, but everyone has retreated on the side of Swift.
Yeah, looks like Everex dying really late there. It's going to open up a small opportunity here. Still has a 13-second respawn timer before he's up. Looks like they are going to be sticking this main shutter very wisely, but sending the rest of the team through the river area now. Tiger's going to be heading his way up forwards. Thomas also there with the sniper class, in fact. So it looks like they aren't like really looking here to push all the way out. They're just trying to find a pick onto Seeds, but Seeds in the corner, having none of it.
Yep, they're not going to let Toe get away with that, so Lucas still watching traps on both shutter doors. He's going to get spotted out. He'll walk back and det now, allowing Swift into the lobby to see if they can get any pressure in towards last. The sentry gun is level 2. There's no power up to defend it just yet, as Thomas does actually just get into position now. So we should be seeing a level 3 gun. Everything you expect to see on Gully Wash last, we'll have to see what Swift tried to do. Adiski just bombing straight into the sentry gun, goes down, so does Everex, and Kunu decides he might as well throw his life away as well. There's 3 down on the side of Swift, and they're just going to have to play on top of the point on second here. They're waiting for these respawns. They're quite fast on Gully Wash middle.
I do like this positioning coming out the side of SVIFT, but they are getting forced back already here. Pappy reading this play amazingly, blocking these 2 players at choke from coming in. Tiger is committed fully, but they do manage to find the picks here. Seeds does have to use that as Uber here, but Classy nowhere to be seen. Is going to be back on last, and looks like Luke Stank is also going to find a Disky here, so there's another pick that they need. So full Uber advantage to the side of Ascent, but this is the opportunity they need here to get in on the side of SVIFT. They are going to be bombing in towards Classy. There is Captain down. Captain knows about it. They do have to use to defend that point, as there were currently stickies on it from Nas. Great heads-up play there from the team. Kunu and Nas doing a great job forcing out that Uber.
Yeah, Swift doing really well at making the best out of a bad situation there. They just managed to... Seeds dropped several players from his Uber. First of all, he got kind of juggled and tried to chase down one of his players who was a bit too deep at the same time. So he got dropped. Seeds was very low at the start of the Uber. Everything looked to be going wrong, but then they know that they can just bust into last, force out some kind of panic use from Classy, and even end up with an advantage because of it. It's about 40% ad here, which they do run in from River now. Nasboy shooting towards the sentry gun. It does go down. There's already time on point from Gaz. He's going to finish off the cap, but Pappy's trying to block it. It's a 4v4 now. Lucas goes down. No stickies on point. They can just play it, and they do. Swift take their second round to get 3-2 on the board.
I was just about to mention they were holding all of their players in the top right area on last, just huddled around a sentry gun. Lucas Tank had like no presence towards that point when they were bringing some capture time down on it, and it did cost them quite heavily as Lucas Tank got flung in, just got fragged, and after that it was just a redemption up for us for the side of SVIFT there, and they did manage to get around on the ball. So 3-2 currently, still all to play for coming into this next mid. Gazzy going to be putting some pressure down to Lucas Tank, but immediately a pipe goes into his face. Everex bombing super high in towards Classy. Is going to try and find that medic pick, but Classy jumps over the rocket, no problems there. Tiger now getting pressured by both scouts, but Captain now bombing up as well in towards these red players. I'm going to get some space here. Disky going down finally after all of his work that he did creating space for his team. So 2 down, no soldiers for the side of SVIFT.
these high bombs that both teams have been doing into the enemy big door right at the start of the mids haven't seemed to work once from what I can tell. You are in the air for just so long that medic can look straight up at you. They have plenty of time to move around. I mean, who cares if they don't have scout speed anymore? You are so obvious falling out of the sky at them, and neither of the medics have died to that bomb yet. So Ascent taking another mid in dramatic fashion, but with Seeds managing to stay alive, it is full Uber equal on last once again. No sentry for Swift. They've still got Kinu on the scout.
Yeah, I'm preferring the spread out hold that they get on the side of SVIFT, where they have players scattered all over the place rather than everyone huddled top left. Just seems to work out pretty well. You cover all your bases pretty easily in Gully, especially if you are holding as well as the side of SVIFT are doing, managing to hold Ascent off for 8 whole minutes. But looks like they've got Kunu sniping from main. Gazi going to be on the pyro, going to be checking for some stickies. There are currently no stickies actually on that shutter. Just some spam coming down now as Kunu tries to peek it. Doesn't manage to find anything, unfortunately, there. Classy staying nice and safe behind his scout and his demo man.
Yeah, I like what they tried to do, keeping the pyro to clear out any stickies and just stop any spam from coming in on the shutter while they peek their sniper. Unfortunately, no one's dumb enough to manage to peek that, and Nasboy actually picks up 2 of the trap in River. They were on that little ammo pack in there, and now that's Soldier and a Scout both down. So they're looking to peek out from upper on the side of SVIFT. Lucas actually very low on the point. He doesn't have anyone to back him up. He's trying to jump out to choke. Just manages to Matrix dodge that rocket. But Tomas is on last in the meantime. No one's managed to check for him. He's just going to cap last up, and that's a back cap round for Ascent. 4-2, taking the lead even further.
That's gonna hurt if you're Nasboy, just having a scout run through your shutter and just murder you. That's disgusting. Unfortunate there, but they give away another round similar to before, where there was just a tiny weakness in their hold, and suddenly a round goes through. Let's see if Everex is going to do the same thing again. He's just trying to bomb and find Classy on these mids, and it's not really working out for him, so we'll see if they can make a change here. But we are seeing a Disky bomb after Lucas Tank. Tons of damage down. They do find Lucas Tank pretty much immediately, and that is going to be a huge pick for the side of SVIFT here. They're moving forwards really aggressively. Capture time down already. Pappy fired into the dirt by the 2 SVIFT scouts. No pressure from him coming out there. Captain currently stuck in behind.
Yeah, Captain's not got much to do behind. There's not even anyone to spawn camp because no one from SVIFT actually died on that mid-fight. They're already busting into lobby. Tiger is so low here. He will get taken down eventually. Adiski has actually gone down in the meantime as well, and now Captain has shown his face in Big Door. They know he's still behind. They know that this is basically a 3-man advantage, including a medic, because Captain's not going to be in this fight. He's behind. Kunu does die to the trap on the spawn door, but now Nasboy bombs straight in. They need to get someone onto Lucas under the point. Everex is trying to get down there, but that's going to fail. This Swift push is just not going the way they wanted it to, as the heavy on the respawn shuts it down as well. That was pretty disastrous for SVIFT.
Oh, my goodness. Push was just scuffed from the start. As soon as Kunu died, they had players join the Uber, but they just didn't have the firepower they needed. They couldn't see enough players during the Uber to make it happen. So, unfortunately, there when the heavy came out the shutter, they couldn't make anything else happen. But Gazi currently on Big Door, kind of weak, but they are holding on to second. Even Ubers as Classy did go down, like you mentioned previously. And it looks like they are just going to be setting up this hold here. 4-2 currently. They have time to play with 4 minutes on the clock. It's a tall order for SVIFT to take this one back here.
Yeah, that was their opportunity. I mean, as soon as Kunu dies there, you really need a scout in the Ubers to get under the points. He needs to get past all the stickies onto the demo man who's usually holding behind them in the under area. Gazi is actually in there right now, does get caught out by Captain, taking the 1v1, and Captain will win it out eventually. Adiski trying to spam the gun, but the pyro is too strong at reflecting. But yeah, as I was saying before, there's no scout in the Uber. No one was even near to Seeds to take that Uber apart from Nasboy. And obviously you don't want to be throwing your own demo man into under the point just to try and 1v1 another demo man. That's going to be a complete waste of time. So yeah, you're right. It was pretty much over from there as soon as Kunu is dropped to that trap.
It's happening. Gazi's on pyro. The strategy I talked about before is happening. He's going to water. It looks like they're going to be doing the play, guys. Gazi moving up towards the point here. Is going to be trying to reflect these players away from the point, but dies immediately, and it's totally wasted. Adiski dies as well. It's a fail. The Uber comes in. Nothing happens. They get the gun. No frags. Tiger's kind of weak. But that's about it. That was awful.
Yeah, I don't know what they were expecting, but no one's going to fall for that in Prem. Everex also trying to weirdly rebomb in there and then just gets, two-teamed between both soldiers. Tiger actually goes down to a blind debt from Nasboy there up on top, I think. So that's going to stop them from getting any real foothold on second. They do still have full Uber advantage for Classy on last, but they're not going to use it to try and push out. They have 2 rounds in their pocket. There's 3 minutes left on the clock. They can just stand here all day and win out all 3 points from this map if they want to.
Everex spy, and they know it. Tiger's already on a swivel. It's going to be just spraying bullets everywhere. But they're going to probably uncloak him on the point there, just try and get something down. But Tomas, sitting on the rim, is just going to be able to reflect away all these rockets from Tiger and be able to jump on top of that point if needs be. It's going to make it super difficult here for the SVIFT to make anything happen. 2 minutes 30 on the clock. They've got to be worried now about this timer. They're on a massive timer at that. As they do uncloak the spy, he moves up towards Classy. Classy knows about it, and Tomas, very privy, is going to burn him down. Awareness in the chat from Classy. A little bit of BM those binds.
That spy play was really terrible. I mean, the one thing you want to do as spy is uncloak behind people rather than in front of them. And all 6 of these players were so far back on last. Everex was pretty much uncloaking, in front of all 6 of them and then having to do some parkour to get behind Classy, which is just, frankly, not going to happen. He just stares at you and it's all embarrassing.
Just nothing they could really do here. 1 minute 50 left on the clock, so they're just going to desperately try and Uber. Tomas just destroys the Uber. Seeds doesn't even get in. He's stuck in the shot. They are going to pop out this blue Uber. 1 minute 40 left on the clock here. Disky going down as well. They lose 3 on the side as fifth, and it's looking like curtains here as we're heading into garbage time. We are going to cast the rest of this one out, though.
Yeah, I think it's over. I'm willing to project the state of Gully Wash for Ascent here tonight. 4-2 on the scoreboard, 1 minute left. There's no chance of SVIFT taking this one back. It looked so much better for them, but that back cap round was really just the nail in the coffin. They could have done so much more, as they do go for another under the point troll play with the pyro. Everyone knows it's coming. They're just all staring at it at this point. Ghazi is managing to get a few reflects in this time, but I mean, all their players are going to die anyway. It's just nothing's working for SVIFT on this last here.
Oh, unfortunate. It nearly worked that time, but they just don't. They need the heals down there as well, I think, just to make it happen. They got to be able to beam up onto Ghazi while he's trying to reflect away all those rockets and stuff. As the clock is slowly ticking down here, 38 seconds left on the server timer. So, yeah. Let's see if they can make one redemption happen. Both have Uber. 30 seconds on the clock. Redemption round, guys. Come on, let's make it happen. Kunu up on the sniper is going to be moving into lobby now. Trying to find a headshot. Usually sniper takes time, but Kunu, he's having on the map. He's warming up for the next map. And this can go headshot onto Tomas. That's what we like to see. Looks like Classy hasn't used his Uber whatsoever. They pop it out. Everex gets munched by a sentry gun. Gazdi currently in water is going to go super low, but up on the pyro doesn't matter. Also gets munched by a sentry gun. Nothing really matters here. 6 seconds left, and it's going to be 4-2 to the side of Ascent in this game.
Disky failed a little skip jump and then lost a 1v1 to an unbuilt sentry on last there. He was like shooting the sentry as it was still building and regenerating itself at point blank range, just unable to kill it. That was pretty funny.
Oh, absolutely amazing. That game, even though the scoreline was 4-2, it was still an incredibly close game. Just a few round slip-ups there. If SVIFT had, held a little bit more, in the right spots at the right times, they just managed to slip through the tiniest cracks, and that cost them 2 rounds. And it would have been 2-2 going to a golden cap if they hadn't let that happen.
Yeah, and that back cap round was looking like it was going SVIFT's way. I mean, they had 4 advantage pushing out their own last. They were getting all the kills, and it was 3-2 at that point. If SVIFT don't get back cap there, they could convert that round, make it 3-3, and then who knows what's going on from there. But as soon as that back cap comes in from Tomas and it's 4-2, it's just, then you're really on the back foot. Obviously, Ascent can just end up on their last, as we saw, and they don't have to do anything about it. They can just wait, run down the clock, and SVIFT were just trying everything on that last, but not making anything stick. They even pulled out the gimmick strategies, which I don't think had any chance. I mean, once you see a pyro running underneath the point, you know what's happening, and you're not going to let the team get away with that. So I don't know why that was even tried from SVIFT, to be honest, but
Yeah, I mean, it was an attempt. They had to make something happen eventually, and they didn't want to hold forever. In fact, the game being as slow as it was, the logs do reflect that quite heavily. Barely anyone getting to the upper echelons of the 20 frags. A captain managing to top frag, but top damage in the server. Lucas Stank, like we mentioned in the pre-game, he's going to pop off. Gully Wash is basically his home at this point in time. He got 243 DPM in a relatively slow game, and those are no numbers to scoff at.
Yeah, I mean, no one's reaching up to 300 as we usually see on Gully Wash due to just how slow that one was. Unfortunate, as we predicted something a bit different, but, at the end of the day, once there's a level 3 and a Pyro up, what are you going to do?
Everex, though, did put in the work. He, in fact, got more damage than Lucas Stank in the game, managing to nail himself 7,760 damage, mostly through spam, most likely through the map. But, I mean, what can you do when you're in stalemates and stuff? He did make quite a lot of space for his team, though, managing to get a lot of bombs in. He was really leading the way for SVIFT, I think, in this game, and it sort of shows that their playstyle does revolve around Everex managing to get space through choke points and just get beaten through on 300 HP. Both medics dying only 4 times really just, it shows this map was really close in general. Even Ubers on both teams as well. Seed's getting the heal advantage, but that's just Seeds for you.
Yeah, Seed's not even getting the heal advantage by too much, about 60 heals a minute. I mean, I think all the med stats really just prove testament to how well Classy is doing on this class this season. I mean, he's really not letting up. He's not, dropping people left and right. He's not getting even any Uber charge drops in that first map, having pretty much the same stats as Seeds in every statistic there. So Classy is doing very well at adapting himself to the new role, even enough to, match up with pretty much what everyone expects to be the best medic in Europe.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, now you're the size of SVIFT. You've just lost the first map in what is supposed to be the closest series that is going to happen in the Premiership division this season. You're coming into Sunshine. How are you feeling? What's the mindset like right now, Bumfries?
I don't think the mindset's great, but you have to expect that they'll be trying to refresh, not let any of that get to them, although I will say some of the personalities on SVIFT aren't the best at that sort of reset, maybe, emotional reset. So I don't think it will hinder SVIFT too much. I mean, Gully Wash and Sunshine are completely different in terms of how the map is played, so I don't think you can really write too much of this map off immediately just from what's happened on Gully Wash there.
For sure. I feel like they're going to come into this game with a new headset. I think they've got to understand that, it's different gravy, Sunshine and Gully Wash. One's a very choke point oriented map, not a lot of bomb opportunities that can usually come out because, they are kind of like, stuffed into rooms as such. But Sunshine, it's big, it's large, it's a scout playing field, and I think that Gazzy is going to frag.
Yeah, we have a lot of talented scouts on this server. And I mean, this is a lot less of a demo man favorable mid as well as not as much as Gully Wash is, of course. So plenty of differences. The major one being, as you've already said, 3 chokes instead of 2. None of the chokes have these low ceilings that make them almost rooms. You can have plenty of soldier bombs in and out of all 3 of them. So yeah, it's going to play entirely differently, more like a process kind of map than Gully Wash or a granary.
Yeah, I think the one thing that has to be mentioned as well is on the side of Ascent, you've got one of the best jumpers in the world. It's Captain, cool as a cucumber Captain, as I'm dubbing him for this season, because he just seems to always do the same thing. He gets some nice bombs off, he gets space for his team, he gets stuff done. He's playing Roma instead of Pocket, which is a nice change for him, I think. I think he was looking forward to playing Roma. A little bit more chilled game style for him, but, if you're the side of Ascent, you're not going to be changing your mindset at all. You're going to be coming into it pretty confident that you just smacked them around on Gully Wash a little bit. But knowing it's close, but having that feeling in your bones that it was a victory as the game is starting up, Bum.
Yeah, and Ascent definitely looked like they were a lot stronger towards the second half of the game. Maybe they just needed to wake up and get things in gear. Maybe they'll be in their full Super Saiyan mode for this second map as we do roll out to mid here. Lucas getting there a bit earlier than
Pappy!
Nasboy, but...
Oh, a super fast bomb. We are seeing another bomb in from Captain, though. He manages to get on top of that spire area there. Is going to be getting arrowed up by his medic as we see the teams shifting to their representative sides. Blue team heading towards Blue Tetris, but Captain in behind on towards Nasboy. The pipe's gone down from Lucas just to assist in that frag. And the rest of the red team being forced back into the choke. Good heads-up play here from the side of Ascent. Going to be playing the point currently. Adiski trying to make his way around in Cafe. Is going to be in behind. Has not been spotted. Is going to have a free bomb towards Classy. Gets the bomb in. One rocket. Whiffs the air shot. Classy dodging, but gets directed by Everex as he goes down. Seed's getting forced off here as he did manage to find his Uber charge eventually, but the cap went through for the side of Ascent.
Yeah, and because Swift was stuck on the enemy half of that mid for so long, that means the immediate lighthouse capture is in as well from Ascent. They've got 2 points for the price of 1. Now, Swift are so on the back foot, having to cap up their own second before they can even get to mid here. Thomas still behind, playing around in dungeon, but he'll get cleaned up by Gazi. And now look at how much ground Ascent have made from this, just from forcing Swift to be locked on the wrong side of mid. They have all of mid for free. It's even Ubers. 5v5 fight now as Captain only just respawns. Adiski on the point trying to take down Lucas. He's going to bomb backwards. Ascent are just going to escape here. Let Swift eventually have this midpoint.
I feel like that was a very wise move there, but great play from them there. Like, when they were on the midpoint, they saw them backing out into flowers and were like, if we can't do anything to them, we can't bomb them, let's just cap the point. That was just amazing play from them there, just to understand the situation they're in, and then to go for the back cap as well. It just shows how deep their understanding is of the game and how they are going to respond on the side of SVIFT to the plays that they're going to make.
And we have our first even Uber stalemate between mid and second, something that the Sunshine is renowned for. We have Everex just peeking through Cafe here, trying to put some spam onto the combo, but they have so much room to maneuver that they're not going to be eating any of those rockets unless they have to. It's a very wide open kind of plateau area for Classy to dodge around.
Yeah, he's going to be able to just chill over there now. Looks like NASA's holding choke all on his lonesome. He has stickied himself in, which is kind of what you need. If he gets bombed, though, he is going to just straight up die, it looks like. If they can notice that Adiski actually going in for a bomb here onto Classy, doesn't quite find anything. Nice and high, though, from Adiski, which is what you like to see from these Sunshine bombs. We have got some space here. Captain does manage to get in towards mid, nearly kills Kunu, but Nasboy going to be sticking out the rest of the Ascent side, unable to find any more room.
Yeah, both of these bombs are so tricky to pull off because there is so much ground that you have to cover. I mean, you're going through the sky for a solid 3 seconds before you're anywhere near to enemy players, so you can just be picked out of the sky by scouts for a long time. But Kunu does die to a trap from Lucas there, so Ascent immediately put players into both of these flanks, just trying to put pressure on, see where they can abuse an opening, and Pappy bombs all the way in. He kills Gazi. Seeds actually takes that rocket as well, so he's low, but Pappy just tries to get behind and gets taken down by Kunu. In the meantime, Nasboy and Everex are both getting killed over in choke there.
Oh, Seeds gets forced up as well. Great damage from Lucas there, but Lucas looking like he could be a piece of meat here. Oh, Adiski going with the spoon and he whiffs! It was in Classy's face, damn it!
Well, Classy now has a 100% advantage due to Adiski not choosing to use his primary weapon to get an easy force on Classy there, which Ascent poke a bit of fun at in the chat. A few people bullying him for that choice of play.
You gotta respect the spoon play, man. Like, especially in these divs. Coming out with the spoon, trying to get a drop on the med, class. Anyway, moving in here, we have managed to get the cap on second for the side of Ascent. Both scouts capping at that point. This side, top right, Uber's coming in. Lucas is going to be bombing in towards the shutter. He does sticky it off, and they are going to be capping this point immediately. Tomas with the capture time. The sentry gun actually getting swapped off here, but the Uber is fading. The pyro out from Gazi, cap time down, but they do get the Uber out. And this is going to be lights out here. Lucas Tank does, in fact, manage to escape there on 16 hit points. So close to dying.
Yeah, and Swift only just got their Uber in time, and even then they didn't even manage to get any kills with the Uber. They pretty much just stood on the point hoping to scare Ascent into retreating, and they did. So we are once again in an even Uber situation, this time on last. The sentry gun is going back up, but it's already being spammed down by Pappy, so it's going to get blown to bits. And that means that they can just bust in. Captain's bombing straight onto the point. He gets immediately cleaned up, but Tiger running in from the left side. also trading 1-for-1, so it's 2 down on the side of Ascent. We'll see if Swift try and do anything with that.
I really like how Tiger manned up, killed one player and was like, nah, I'm going for more. It just runs to the point and tries to 2-meter shot a Disky on the point. I love it. It's incredible. Kunu sniping from balcony, just getting spotted out by Pappy and forced back there. They are once again keeping this pyro to reflect the stickies away from their shutter door. I think this is a really good play from them to just abuse the fact that they won't have to swap the class off.
We do see a few class switches actually on last now. Gazi going up on Sniper. Adiski was just checking on Spy there for any off classes, so they'll know now that Tiger is on this Sniper. He's going to be peeking through Dungeon to see if he can find an angle onto anyone. And Nasboy shows himself for a split second and just stands AFK in the sightline. So Nasboy's going to get headshot there by Tiger. And now there's plenty of room to poke in top right. They spam down the sentry.
And kill Gazi in the process, and they bomb in, they find another onto Everex. Seeds is just alone, he has to use. Tomas just comes and meat shots him in the rear as they do pop out that Uber, but Kunu's having none of that and just kills him. Tiger is still up on the sniper class here, but Pappy's going to be capping the point there. It's going to be 1-0 to the side of Ascent to kick this one off.
Okay, that was just an embarrassing round from Swift, if I'm going to be completely honest. Nasboy dying to that headshot there, and then everyone just getting in for free due to lack of stickies on the point, lack of stickies on the doors, and then Seeds was just getting absolutely juggled around during his Uber. He was Lucas's plaything, just keeping everyone off the point. A really good round for Ascent there off the back of that Tiger headshot.
Just like we're having our next mid here, but it looks like the red team are going to spread out a little bit more here. Classy gets damaged quite a lot, down to half HP already, getting pistol whipped and spam. Pappy going in deep in behind. Everex now moving forward to just spamming towards this cafe area. Classy manages to get a health pack to get more HP up, but Tiger flanking from behind on top of Seeds, gets the meat shot down, could find more, but it looks like the rest of the collapse is coming in here. Pappy finds another. Gazi and Everex going down here, but they do find Tiger eventually. Nasboy and Adiski falling, just Kunu left alive, and he gets cleaned up immediately. Great mid from the side of Ascent.
Yeah, and once again, Swift are proving to be their own worst enemy by forcing themselves into the enemy halves of mid and just getting stuck there. Tiger has a really easy rotate. Obviously, you're not usually expecting a flank to do something like that unless you're in Tier 2 center. You don't expect that scout coming behind you, but he just gets a free kill on Seeds for it, and that is the full advantage for Ascent here.
I mean, just do the unexpected, and they're never prepared for it, you know. This is just what they're going to try and pull out in these Prem games to get an edge on any other team. As they do pop through immediately on this left-hand side here. Going on top of the sentry gun, do destroy it immediately. Sticky's currently on the points. They can't play it just yet as the Uber fades. Everett's going to be bombing in towards this demo man. They do get tons of damage down. Lucas tank super low and ignited currently. Adiski managing to die from full damage as the damage from Lucas was too much. But they do manage to defend thanks to that Gazi Pyro.
Yeah, and Kunu trying to chase did get picked off by Lucas, but now there's a Demoman 1v1. They both run out of ammo and just call it quits. And now, in fact, Tiger just tries to bust in top right, and he does get the trade with the Everex, but Gazi is right there to set him on fire and put a stop to that. Seeds does have about 50% advantage, but with his spawners not up yet, I don't think there's any chance they go for it.
Yeah, especially on Sunshine. Sunshine's a pretty hard last to push out with the drop down. With the lower pressure from Dungeon, the shuttered pressure, the bats pressure, and the lower pressure. There's so much space that they can take here if you're the side of Ascent trying to back cap in towards last. And Tiger, you know, he manages to slip in all the cracks here. But I thought Tiger was just sacking in so they could get a sniper or something, but obviously not. He's going to stay on the scout class.
Yep, once again we have the even Uber situation. Gazi has his sentry gun built up by the right spawn door. Adiski peeking into lobby a bit there. Not going to find anything either. We do actually have a banner up on Everex, so he's going to be building up that conch, I believe. Or battalions, is it? Yeah, battalions back up to try and get some extra damage resistance for his team. Captain failing a little skip jump there. Maybe he'll have another go in a second.
Go on, Captain, you got this, man. You're supposed to be one of the best jumpers in Europe. Come on, man. He's gonna not do it again. He's trying to speed shot through that door, isn't he, and try and get in? Yeah,
looks like it. He tried it on the upper side beforehand, where they do actually make quite a bit of space now. They force Everex back and put some stickies off in front to stop the rebomb, but once again, just faking things out. Nothing's actually going to happen for a while. There's 1-0 on the scoreboard still for Ascent.
The sentry gun is currently going to block any path that they take to bomb here. Adiski is currently up on the black box conch as well, so double banner. Adiski on the full heal build here is going to get fully buffed as well. It's super hard to kill a soldier which has HP regen and HP lifesteal. Like, it's super hard to play against if he is defending and fully buffed. So a good choice of loadout there from Adiski on this right hand side. A little bit unconventional, but I like it.
Yeah, I mean, they just need to build up these banners, but they're not really... There is a bombing actually from Captain, but the sentry immediately takes him down. As I was just about to say, they need to be more proactive about building these banners. Everex is just so far back, shooting uphill and not really getting peaked very often. They need to be putting some spam into lobby if they want to be proactive, get these banners built up, then maybe take a trade or a double sack or something, anything to get out of your own last here.
Yeah, they have currently got 96% on that battalions and 100% on the conch. So the conch is built. The battalions is very close, but like you mentioned, they really need to get in.
Yeah, so one more rocket from Everex should do it, and then it'll be interesting to see what they try and do after that. We used to see a lot of trades happen with banner repushes afterwards, but it'll be very difficult to take a trade in lobby and then push out of it as well. Tiger actually gets sniped there by Koff in the right-hand side of lobby.
I think now is the time to use these banners. I feel like they get buffed up and they just flood and they try and get a force. I feel like that's one of the best plays they can do currently with these banners. Otherwise, they're just not going to use them. They're going to wait for this Uber to come in, they're going to get crushed, and then they're going to use the banners afterwards when they're low HP and unable to take the full effects from them. I feel like they should abuse the speed buff they get from Conch, move in on top of them before Adiski gets picked off randomly. There you go. They do actually pop out that battalions now, and Everex is bombing in onto... Oh, gets the drop! Everex, incredible play from him! Absolutely destroys Classy with that banner. Incredible play from him.
Yeah, huge play from Everex, which is exactly what Swift needed now. Adiski's already blown his other banner, so they'll be looking to push into second with the help of that, hopefully not letting Seeds get forced. They have the 100% advantage now. This is exactly what they needed to get back into this game. Everex is on the respawn. They're moving through dungeon. They haven't utilized the speed buff of this conch yet. Adiski's still holding on to it. As they do pop it off now, Kunu trying to take this one forwards. Adiski, with the help, is going to get taken down though, and that means they lose the banner effect. They haven't popped their Uber yet either, but they do eventually get forced in this 5v6 now. Captain gets taken out of the sky, but it doesn't look like they're getting any more kills with the Uber. Nasboy too far forwards as well. Does manage to clean off Tomas though, who was just about to kill him, and Lucas going down at the end of this means that Swift can take the momentum forwards. There's still two down on the side of Ascent, and one of them is a demo man, so no sticky traps here. Immediately bombing in is Everex. He's onto Tiger, clearing out that threat of a sniper. They're taking all of the ground, but Pappy, trying to get in, will get taken down by an arrow from Seeds. Swift are just able to take this midpoint for free.
It was incredible that they managed to survive for so long on second there. I thought it was all falling apart for them after they lost Adiski, since Seeds just didn't move up. He didn't come to Adiski with heals. If he had managed to heal up Adiski, he would have been a little bit more unstoppable than he was, but overall it worked out well for them. They did manage to salvage it, but I thought Tomas was seriously going to kill Nasboy. If it hadn't been for Everex bombing in and finding those frags, that would have been curtains for them then. They would have been pushed back to last again. But they are now in a situation where it's even Ubers again bum, but they are currently trying to get in towards second. I bet they're just glad to be off the last.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, once that threat is gone, it's a whole weight off your shoulders. And you're right, I thought Toe was definitely going to take Nas down there. But yeah, very lucky to keep it alive after that banner play. Didn't go exactly as expected. Looks like both soldiers have switched off it now, so that was just a play for last and getting out of it. As Adiski actually gets airshot there by Captain in the flank. Pappy's been called for backup to try and help him get that frag, but Adiski's already escaped with his life.
Looks like they're just going to continue chilling out. Neither team really finding any space here to make anything happen, but it's really up to the side of SVIFT now to make anything happen. Captain just going to be holding in flowers to stop Adiski from doing what he wants to do here, but he is wandering in. Captain now spots it out. High bomb from Adiski, but he gets airshot immediately by Captain and forced all the way back. Adiski getting super low there. Nearly goes down, but Eric's going to be bombing in here in towards Lucas. Tank does find the pick. So no down around on the sides of Ascent. It looks like they are going to be walking in here. Tomas with the sad face that he got found as well. And it looks like they're going to be able to take this second point now.
Yeah, Ascent immediately have to leave there. In fact, that was Tomas getting way too cocky that initiated all of this. He literally just ran through choke trying to kill Nasboy and failed. Adiski bombing into last now actually just throws away his life trying to take that sentry gun down. Didn't exactly go as intended. But yeah, To was trying to 1v1 Nasboy and just got taken down. And then, yeah, drops a little sad face in chat after Nasboy's lol.
Oh, very sad. That's not what you want. But they are clinging on to their own last point here. The scores, once again, 1-0. And the highest point scorers we have that isn't a medic is 23 points in 16 minutes. I'm scared for how slowly these teams are playing.
Yeah, a very slow map. I mean, Sunshine's always difficult. Pretty much every point on the map is difficult to move between. Adiski gets death on, but he's just out of the range of the trap. Lucas nearly got a kill for free there, as Kunu is trying to peek in through top right. There's a gun watching this angle, as well as Tiger on the pyro. He gets body shot down and gets healed up there by Classy.
Looks like he's going to be trying to peek in this left-hand side, where he managed to find a pick before. Captain now jumping in. Does manage to jump away. Lucas Tank walks into the fray, nearly gets domed by Kunu. Kunu once again going to be forcing some pressure here. Adiski just going to be chilling, and they are going to be trying to move in here, but it looks like they are just going to be forcing them back once again. The spam comes in, but he does get stickied off this time. Oh, they do manage to find him. Nice pipe rocket combo from Captain Lucas just to pick off that sniper.
Yeah, so Kunu being down will get everyone out of lobby, but as we've already seen countless times, there's not much you can do with lobby control on Sunshine. I mean, it's so difficult to get any angles onto second, rollout, shutter, you name it. Everything is just not ideal for peeking out of. So immediately Swift able to retake lobby here.
Same thing again.
Yeah, absolutely. Same thing again. Kunu's still on the sniper. Lucas getting a bit too big for his boots and will get taken down there by Adiski. So now there's a lot of room to work with. No stickies on either door or the point. Lets Everex bomb through for free. He's put a lot of damage into both soldiers actually already.
Pappy weak on that shot. They do find the headshot to Tomas. It's going to open up the sentry gun for them. No sentry gun healing down now. Captain going to be jumping in. Gets headshot immediately and sticky by Nasboy. Going down, but this sentry gun spot is in a really precarious position, but Tiger is in a perfect position, reflecting all of those rockets away. Not a single lick of damage down on that sentry. Eventually they use out the supers to try and defend it, but looks like Seeds is going to get air blasted into a corner, but the pyro gets surrounded and cleaned up. Adiski on the point here. They're getting Captain down. Tomas actually defends it here, and Pappy's coming in as well. He gets the damage down. They managed to defend this point, but they are currently getting all these players healed up. Everex didn't go down, and as a result does manage to cap out the point.
Textbook from Swift. They get that first pick onto the demo man, and then they have this free room to work with on the left-hand side from the attacker's perspective. They just have their sniper sitting in the door, railing out headshots onto everyone, getting them down so low, and then they can use that to force out Ascent first, bait them back towards their medic, and then use their own Uber to clean everything up. As Lucas actually goes down very low at the start of this third mid here.
Yeah, he does eventually get arrowed up by Classy, but very precarious there with Adiski coming in to bomb him. Looks like Pappy going to be walking around again. Gets on top of Everex and does find the first pick of this mid-fight. Good job there to notice the holes in the defense, but Adiski now moving in towards Cafe is going to be on top of that health pack, just collecting those time and time again, but Pappy doing the exact same thing here. Adiski going to be bombing up towards Lucas Tank, does find that pick, so no damn man on that side, but Nasboy in rebuttal does go down here. Adiski finally dying for his troubles, but it's going to be Kunu, Seeds, and Gazzy trying to retreat here. They do force out that Uber charge, and Classy is nowhere to be seen. In fact, Classy doesn't even have Uber, so he wouldn't have been able to return it anyway, but now he gets it with the rest of his team. But there's one player that's still left alive, Gazzy here, gonna get cleaned up by Tomas in Cafe. Tiger finds Seeds as well. Everex getting super weak, does have to escape towards Dungeon, and is gonna manage to survive this, but that pick onto Seeds was massive, and Classy survived the whole time.
Yeah, that pick onto Seeds with such a late spawn is devastating. He's not even up yet, and they're already moving into last. The Uber's popped out on Lucas. He's immediately firing down that sentry, which gets switched off. Lucas now trying to put stickies towards the rotators coming out the other spawn door, but he's going to go down. They didn't have anyone play the point well enough. I mean, Tomas just immediately got destroyed as he went for it. So now Swift actually have a chance to get out of last with 2 picks here. Kunu immediately dying may slow things down, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kunu got a little bit of ahead of himself there and just got immediately demolished. But that that Uber was pants. They didn't really find anything at all. And as soon as Thomas touched the point, Nasboy knew it was okay to just det on him, and then that would be it. Like, the push would be over at that point. Lucas Tank did very valiantly try and get in there to try and make something happen and be MVP of the game, but couldn't quite find it there. But both medics are going to be even Ubers, so we're going to be in the same situation. It is currently 1-1 on the scoreboard with 9 minutes left.
Yeah, and I mean, if Swift wants to have a chance, I think they need to change up their mid-fight as well. You're seeing how terribly it's going for them as they end up deep on the enemy side of the mid. Tiger actually running all the way in right now, just holds W through the door there and gets immediately taken down. Adiski actually into lobby trying to find something in return. Will put a rocket into Thomas's head, but that's not going to be enough. Everex will trade it out though, so now both scouts down for Ascent. That's definitely doable, but Everex loses his life to Lucas. That's going to slow everything down.
I think there's just too much testosterone in Tiger's body. Like, he just... it's either that or some other kind of substance, I don't know. But it looks like they're going to be moving in the top right area now. Lucas is going to be spamming down on that sentry gun. Adiski now bombing up just to deny that aggression that they were getting. Pappy getting super weak in lobby as well. He's going to need to run with his pickaxe there. But looks like Kunu up on the spy is going to be trying to spot out for a sniper. Does see Tiger is currently still on sniper. And he's just going to be now trying to counter snipe from the shutter door. Get some space. Okay, what did you notice?
Captain just bombed in and Gaz just immediately reflected him and it pretty much reversed his momentum and he just bombed out in the exact same way. As the force actually does come in, 3 players bombing into lobby to get that force though. Will it be worth it? Seeds has no one to heal. Nasboy's in spawn and his scout is in lobby. Gaz now eventually putting the flames onto people, but this is so bad that they're just surrounded by Ascent players and the air shot to finish it off. That was ridiculous.
Oh my god, that was an absolute disaster from both teams. Oh my god.
I mean, Swift need to have this, like, cohesion to say, we're going for a force in lobby now. We need to not have our pyro, like, on the other side of second and our demo man in resupply. Otherwise, we are going to get destroyed.
3-man sack on your own last, new meta. Anyway, looks like we're heading into the next mid. 2-1 currently is the scoreline as the Ascent take away that round. And this kid getting bombed immediately. Goes down. No flank pressure coming out now from Aroma, but Seeds currently in the enemy flowers is going to be rotating towards their choke here. He's getting pressured heavily, separated from the rest of his team as Gazi goes in the flank with Everex. Just going to be sitting on that health pack in towards Cafe. Everex getting super low. Is going to have to jump all the way back but gets cleaned up there. They're going to cap
Swift
up
on the wrong side of mid. They're doing the exact same thing every time. They leave one player isolated. He gets picked off. And then Ascent just have all the room on the high ground and on the point. Pappy's managing to slow them down while the rest of Ascent cap up second once again.
Last, go! Looks like they're all running towards last. Thomas is going to be taking a 1v1 with Everex. In fact, it's now a 2v1 on the point. C does the pop the Uber. Gets it! Oh my captain! It's 3-1!
It's disastrous. This mid-fight is terrible. I mean, Ascent gets all of the ground in the middle of the point, and you're just completely locked out on the wrong side of the map. You can't even play the game from over there. You're just going to have your base immediately captured, as we just saw from Ascent, and Swift just keep doing it over and over, imprisoning themselves for no good reason.
What are they doing? They're making all the wrong plays in this game. I mean, I can see the theory, but it's just too far gone. Lucas getting super low on this next mid-fight, however. Adiski low as well. Gazi the first casualty, but it looks like they are being forced back into their own flowers this time as opposed to their own, the enemy flowers. Naspo are going to be jumping out towards second, and it looks like they are going to retreat with what they have left of their team.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they would put an end to it last round after they even just tried to leave through Cafe, and it took them so long they still got forced, but they went for it again and got punished. Captain now just no respect, bombs in behind, gets a frag onto Kunu with 2 rockets, and now Tiger and Captain get to pressure this flank for free together. They find 2 frags. Pappy gets to bomb in. Now they are completely cornered. Swift here, all on the low ground. There's so much damage. Gazi gets destroyed. Eventually, Seeds has to use off his Uber as well. They're putting the damage into Lucas, but Classy just knows that he can drop him and keep this Uber for last. Ascent are just outplaying Swift in every manner right now.
Yeah, they're doing such a good job in this game just to kite the crap out of them. Swift are just not finding any openings at all here. Ascent, their flank pressure is insurmountable. But it looks like Thomas going to be running in towards the Disky. It's going to take some of that sentry gun pressure away early on. But the sentry gun getting cleaned up pretty much immediately. Only level 1 is going to be Gazzy coming up on the Pyro, taking a 1v1 with Pappy. Getting the flare gun shot out on some good damage, but he gets arrowed up by Classy to stay alive as Gazzy eventually goes down. The bombs are coming in really deep into this red team as the point is being played. Kunu getting super weak as they cap it from under their noses. Tiger and Classy finishing it out.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the nail in the coffin for this map. It looks like Ascent are going to be your champions of the official, taking all 6 points from it. I mean, they didn't even get any frags with their Uber. It pretty much all worn off by the time they were even getting kills. They just scared everyone into spawn and then re-bomb the rotators as they come out of the other spawn door. Lucas is so much faster to mid than Nasboy. He has pretty much 6 stickies at Nasboy's feet by the time he gets there.
There's a lot of high bombs coming in from Everex into Lucas. He lands like a meteorite into the earth and does manage to pick him off there. Looks like Classy actually dies to a Disky with a nice deep bomb from him. Where was that in the first 5 rounds of this game, Sir Thomas? Currently trying to take a 1v4 fight, but it looks like they're just trying to salvage it. And they do find Seeds, Pappy's final breath, finding that frag.
Yeah, getting Seeds there, especially so late, is critical for Ascent now. Classy's going to be spawning earlier, getting a bit of an advantage ready to go. Only Nasboy and Gazzy on second at the moment. Gaz is already capping it up though, so Ascent should be getting back to last here. If Lucas hangs around any longer, he could be punished, but it doesn't look like Swift are going for it. In fact, Swift just leave it entirely before anyone else from Ascent even shows themselves.
I mean, they didn't give them a lot of... Where's my GG plugin, by the way?
Yeah, that's a good point. Did that even get implemented? I think everyone voted to implement it, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe still in production. Let's not put too much pressure on them, okay? We've had more given to us in EU TF2 than we have done in the last several years, so let's just be grateful for what we have and beg for GG plugin later. As we are seeing, this side of Swift are going to be picking up second here and heading in towards the lobby area.
And they're on crits, by the way.
Oh, they're on crits! I love it! They are going to use it through top right. Nasboy fires out a crit sticky, and it looks like they find absolutely nothing, but the Gassy finds some frags in return anyway. The crit pressure was enough, but Thomas, currently fully buffed against the just projectile classes, Seeds is going to be escaping. Nasboy's been left for dead eventually. Oh no, Nasboy saves his own life with a nice little air pipe.
But then he gets power jacked by Thomas. And Seeds just gets cleaned up by Tiger on second to really finish the deal. I don't think that crits was really a good idea, and I don't think it was executed very well either. I mean, he was focusing all the players that were pretty much directly under him. If you miss those players, those stickies are completely wasted. If you were firing those stickies towards the point and you miss them, that's fine. There's still a crit sticky on the point that you're ready to det later. You've never really missed as Demo Man until you've detonated the sticky. You can just leave it there, and it's still, you know, denying a lot of space. But there's not much point in analysing what's going on here. We have 1 minute 40 left on the clock. It's now impossible for Swift to win. Ascent have already taken all 6 points of this game.
Oh, I mean, overall, Ascent are just showing why they're the #1 seeded team this season. Taking 6 points away from this official is pretty massive. It leads them on track to go first seed coming into the playoff stages when they eventually make it there, as long as they retain this lead that they've got so far. And I believe the rest of the games for Ascent this season are pretty much the easy ones, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't think they've played against Feint yet, which is the other kind of top seed team that we're looking at this season. But I think Ascent have been so comfortable in this game that they won't have any problem for the rest of the season, surely. I think they have that #1 seed comfortably locked in at this point.
Yeah, they have. The remaining games that they have after this game is Kritzberg for defense, which should be a relatively convincing one, I think. And then they've got Feint, like you mentioned, which should be a good game. And then Alvin and the Britmonks, which once again should be a decent game for Ascent coming into this. So they are looking pretty strong in this week here. SVIFT, unfortunately going to be dropping 6 points here, but I wouldn't be too worried.
Pappy just gets
5-1 round, a nice little back cap there. Very nice. Beautiful. There you go. Extra round on the board. Going to be going towards that point difference, you know.
Yeah, just in case they.
Won't be required whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, even if they do somehow tie with the second place team, then they will win based on head-to-head from this official, so round difference doesn't actually mean anything. But whatever, it's nice to have it on the board. 5-1, final score. The original score was 4-2 on Gullywash, so that's Ascent taking all 6 points once again for you tonight.
GG's out in the chat from both teams, respecting each other immensely here. It was incredibly good games overall. I think, especially on Gullywash, it was pretty even throughout. Sunshine was a little bit of a stomp. I think Ascent just had it together a little bit more on Sunshine than potentially on Gullywash, feeling that pressure from Nas a bit more maybe on Gully, and also maybe feeling a little bit lax coming into the next map, knowing that they lost the first one. It can be pretty hard to reset off that mindset, especially when your team is full of toxic Brits.
Yeah, looking at the logs, I don't think there's much to say about the logs. I think it was not down to players in this one. I think genuinely Swift should have changed that mid fight up several mids ago. I mean, there was one mid where they played, Everex went up on the bell tower. He wasn't really paying attention to behind him. He got taken out up there. And then the 5v6, Swift were just completely cornered on the low ground on the enemy half of mid. The next mid, they leave Adiski alone in their own flower while the rest of them go to the enemy flower. Pappy spotted that out. They double bombed Adiski. He immediately went down, and we had the same thing again, 5v6 with Ascent fully in control of all of the middle of midpoint. And, you know, Swift just kept trying and kept trying. They just kept throwing the same problem at themselves. And from there, I mean, all the mids going to Ascent, apart from one mid for Swift in trash time. So
yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can get away with the element of surprise, which is essentially the advantage that they're playing with whenever they try to get Adiski to do anything. They were just like, if they don't see him, it's good. Which did happen, because they did manage to find Classy on one of the mids. So they tried to make it happen, though, again and again, like you mentioned. It just wasn't working out for them, and then they get backed into a corner. They get caps all over the place on the side of Ascent, and it's over. So, I don't know, man. I feel like the flank pressure from Tiger was too much for them to handle. He just sort of came flying in a lot of places where you wouldn't expect it, and just managed to get a bunch of frags that they weren't necessarily thinking that were going to happen in that game. So Tiger and Captain just doing so much work on the flank in these games, just getting space for their teams. But not to mention as well the picks that Lucas found just out of nowhere to make some more space. So yeah, it's just seems like a dominating victory for Ascent. They just had it together. They understood their game plan coming into it, and Swift probably got a little bit bamboozled by it.
Yeah, Tiger and Thomas had absolutely no respect throughout that map as well. They just saw a player, they decided they want to kill him. Even if they knew they were going to die for it, they would just hold W. We saw Tiger getting frags, holding W into last. We saw Thomas just trying to hold W into Nasboy several times. Didn't always work out, but they just played with no respect for Swift, and I think that's why they could roll over them so easily.
Yeah, I see two players in the interview channel.
Yeah.
So let's bring them in here, shall we? Welcome, gentlemen.
Hello.
So we are joined by Pappy and Classy. Classy, how do you feel about taking that victory?
It was a good game. It was good warm up for what might be in store for the cup. So yeah, it feels good.
I didn't even mention the cup throughout, guys. Clash.tf, I'm going to plug that now. Let's just get that out of the way. Dreamhack Tournament, £2,000 prize pool, I think it is. So actual money on the line could be fun. Yeah, $2,000.
US dollars.
US dollars, okay. The weak currency, how dare they. Between the 14th and 15th of November, twitch.tv/Dreamhack is the place to be over the weekend. It is this weekend coming, so please join us on there. So, yeah, Bum, any questions from you, sir?
Classy, how easy is Medic?
Too easy, mate. Too easy.
Fair enough. Are you feeling out of your comfort zone at all, or is it just absolutely fine playing with this team that you've been with for so long?
Some wonky plays and drops here and there, but it's I feel pretty comfortable on it. When you have Tiger and Toe as scouts protecting you, it's a walk on roses, my friend.
Absolutely. Pappy, were you expecting this game to be closer? Were you expecting it to be around about there?
Yeah, probably around about there. I knew we were pretty awful at Gully because last week we really struggled against whoever we played. So I thought they, if anything, might beat us on Gully Wash. So I was kind of surprised we won. But I knew we'd win Sunshine. We've always been good at that map.
Are either of you scared at all about any of the teams coming up? Do you fear Feint, or are you just rolling over everyone to this first place seed, do you reckon?
I fear Mac.
That's a good
Just Mac.
response.
No one
Just-
else.
That's a good
He's
response.
Genius. He's like Cadus, but better.
Whoa, that's a statement and a half to make.
That might be a bit too much, but you know what I mean. He's good.
Yeah. Do you feel like coming into the playoffs, we know that this is going to be the matchup again, I think, to come, and we'll see it again in the Cup for certain. But do you feel like further down the line, 4 weeks, even 5 weeks down the line, when you hit that playoff stages, do you feel like SVIFT is going to be the team to look out for you guys?
Depends how they do against the other top two teams. I don't know how they play against Bus Crew or Feint. I think they might get. I don't know if they scrim Bus Crew, but Bus Crew are really good. They might get surprised. Like Delhi is really good, and then Caper just kind of runs around and kills everyone. So
Yeah.
it depends. I mean, I think SVIFT probably should be in the first or second seed if they play well in officials, but it just depends if they win their officials against the other top teams. But I wouldn't be able to like rank them because it just depends on play style, to be honest.
Yeah, another thing I was going to ask as well, did you guys feel really comfortable in Sunshine? Because it did look like you guys had everything pretty much on lock throughout, especially when you were just capping at midpoint while they were running into your flowers.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why they kept doing that. They'd rotate the side and then just stay behind us. So
Yeah.
we just push to the last and cap. I don't really know.
It was pretty funny when you made it all the way. The first time you did it and you capped second, it was hilarious, but when you managed to cap last, it was even funnier. That's just a
Yeah, how many
statement.
times that happened? That happened like 3 or 4 times. or something?
Three times, yeah.
3 times.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think they got classy on the first mid though, so it was actually good for them.
Yeah, they managed to get they bombed a Disky in, and then a Disky kind of flubbed, and then Everex was like having none of it and bombed in and also died, but did find Classy.
Yeah,
Just.
Classy can't surf Everex.
He just messaged me saying I have epic movement, so shut up.
Okay.
I'll paste it in the mumble right now.
Okay, so I don't have any more questions. Anything from you, Bum, before we go to shouts?
No, I've not got anything else to say.
Fantastic. So, Mr. Classy Man, any shout-outs from you?
Shout out to my team and Gank, Copper, and Eames. And that's boy.
Nice. Pappy, shouts from you.
Shouts to my team, Gank, Copper, and Doja Cat.
Mr. ArchRhythm, have you got any shout-outs? He says the Essentials admin team. Oh, very, very cushy. Bum Freeze.
I'm going to shout out the Cup again. We've got the DreamHack Clash Cup coming up on Saturday and Sunday. Make sure you're there starting from, I believe, 12 CET, maybe a little earlier. So,
Right.
yeah, make sure you're there for that. We're going to have all of our Prem teams plus a few more returning names. We've got top 5 Rocket and pretty much most of the Nerd Rage roster from last season, I think, signed up to it. So it's going to be a good one, exciting TF2 all weekend.
Very nice. I'm going to throw a quick shout out, like you just mentioned, to Clash.TF. Should be a really good event. Money on the line means that people try even harder. Shouts to you, Arch, for producing this evening. Bum for you being my co-caster. Pappy and Classy for a good interview, being good lads as per usual. Shouts to Crockett, Lloyd, Lucas, Kermit, all those lovely boys in the Polly's pad. So, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for witnessing what this was this evening for Season 37 of ETF2L, and we'll catch you next time. See you later, boys.